Why did George Bush Sr. Why did George Bush Sr. nominate Clarence Thomas to the U.S. Supreme Court? Because George Bush Sr. was former CIA director. So we know he didn't like black folks, because what is the job of the CIA? What is the job of the CIA, which is a cabinet level position within the executive branch of the U.S. government? The CIA's job is to kill African and Caribbean and Central and South American democratically elected heads of state when they don't do what the American business aristocracy demands that they do. The CIA exists to sell drugs and kill black leadership. Let me say it again. The CIA exists to sell drugs and kill black leadership. You don't believe me? Go do your research. Who started the CIA? A Wall Street banker. Why would a Wall Street banker create the CIA? So they can funnel the drug money through Wall Street. So they can funnel the drug money through Wall Street. So they can funnel the drug money through Wall Street. That's why Wall Street was founded by a CIA banker. Facts. The president don't even choose the head of the CIA. They give him 3 names. The white power structure, the secret government, gives the president 3 possible CIA director names from which they get to choose one. The CIA is not an intelligence gathering organization. The CIA is not an intelligence gathering organization. The CIA is not an intelligence gathering organization. The CIA is a espionage, sabotage, secret military, African government overthrow expert organization. That's what they do. They killed Lumumba. They were implicated in the assassination of Emile Amilcar Cabral, Guinea-Bissau. They was implicated in Thomas Sankar's murder. The CIA overthrew Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The CIA overthrew Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The CIA helped the apartheid government track down Nelson Mandela. They would have never caught Nelson Mandela if it wasn't for the CIA. I'm not talking old Mandela. I'm talking about young Mandela. And then you got a nerve to come out with a Black Panther movie. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. I'm still not sure that wasn't an assassination. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. I'm still not sure that wasn't an assassination. But you come out with the Black Panther movie and the damn hero is a CIA agent in a movie based in Africa, fictitious country Wakanda. Fictitious country Wakanda. And Agent Ross saves the Black Panther sister, and he provides the information and the assistance to save the day. He shows up with the fighter jet. A CIA agent shows up with the fighter jet in the Black Panther movie to save a black country. You Negroes are out of your mind. The Black Panther series is a CIA project. I promise you, in 30 years, it will come out that the CIA influenced the narrative of the Black Panther movie. I promise you it's going to come out in 30 years that the CIA influenced the narrative of the Black Panther movie. Ain't no way in hell a CIA agent could be a hero in an African country when the CIA has murdered. The CIA has murdered damn near every major assassinated black president. Come on now. But I digress. Let me get back. Monday is April the 4th. Monday is April the 4th. Dr. King's assassination day. 78, 88, 98, 08, 18, 1921 to 54 years since Dr. King was murdered. 54 years since Dr. King was murdered. They put Thurgood Marshall in 67. They killed Dr. King in 68. They put Thurgood Marshall in 67 to quell the riots. They killed Dr. King in 68. 54 years, and we as Africans in America have done nothing of significance to change our trajectory at all. I'm not talking about the white man right now. I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about the white man right now. I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about the white man right now. I'm talking about you. 54 years ago, this coming Monday. 54 years ago, this coming Monday, Dr. King would have been murdered. We ain't done nothing in 54 years. Al Sharpton ain't gonna do it. He gets too much money from white people. Benjamin Crump ain't gonna do it. All he looking for is death checks. NAACP ain't gonna do it. All they do is spy on black activists and revolutionaries. Urban League ain't gonna do it. Controlled by white folks. Black fraternities and sororities ain't gonna do it. Too bougie and too multicultural. Black church ain't gonna do it. Too in love with money and ego and selfishness. None of the black organizations have done anything since Dr. King's murder. But we want to sit around criticizing Dr. King. We want to sit around criticizing Dr. King. Show me a leader since King who has come anywhere near. Anywhere near. You can't. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can touch him. Show me anyone who's come anywhere near El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Nobody has come anywhere near Malcolm, and nobody can touch him. They gave you the Voting Rights Act because they murdered Malcolm a few weeks earlier. You got the Voting Rights Act because Malcolm died for it. You got the Voting Rights Act in 65 because Malcolm died for it. I keep telling you, Negroes, you don't get nothing in this country. No disrespect, he don't compare to Dr. King or Malcolm. No disrespect. That man never fought for nothing for black folks. No disrespect. No disrespect. He never fought for anything systemically, never fought against the prisons, never fought against the schools, never fought against police genocide, never fought for nothing. A lot of talking, a lot of talking, a lot of talking. He never fought to change nothing. No disrespect, I'm keeping it real. No disrespect, I'm keeping it real. Never fought to change anything in this country. Nobody y'all posting. Nobody y'all posting ever fought to change anything in this country. Give me a break. Miss me with the bullshit. Please miss me with, I didn't say speeches. I give more speeches than any black man in the world. Speeches don't change nothing. I said movement. Now, let me stay focused. They gave you Thurgood to quell the riots and make it quiet before they killed Dr. King. George Bush nominated Clarence Thomas October of 91 because the Rodney King riots, here we go. Here we go. I want y'all to follow me. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me right now. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me right now. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me right now. I appreciate what Colin Kaepernick did, but he never led a movement. I appreciate Colin Kaepernick and what he did. In my opinion, one of the greatest activist athletes of all time. Colin Kaepernick goes on the Mount Rushmore with Muhammad Ali and our brothers who put up the black fists. Colin Kaepernick goes up there with them for one of the greatest activist athletes, but Colin Kaepernick has never led a movement against mass incarceration, miseducation, police genocide, access to wealth, or economic apartheid. LeBron James has never led a movement against miseducation, mass incarceration, gentrification, police genocide, access to wealth. Jesse Jackson has never led a movement against miseducation, mass incarceration, economic genocide, access to wealth, or gentrification. Okay? None of these leaders have done that. Okay? Give me the leader who's doing that. I don't care about speeches and marches. I don't care about that. I said, name me the leader who's tackling one of Black America's 5 major problems. You can't name one. You can't name one. So the reason George the racist Bush nominated Clarence Thomas in October 1991, because on March the 3rd of 1991, because March the 3rd of 1991, because March the 3rd of 1991, Rodney King. March the 3rd of 1991, Rodney King was beat like a dog. On March the 3rd, 1991, Rodney King was beat like a dog in Los Angeles. And the brothers and sisters lost it, and they initiated the Los Angeles Rebellion, the most comprehensive Black social rebellion in LA since the Watts riots, the most comprehensive social uprising in Los Angeles since the Watts riots. And so George Bush said, uh-oh. The U.S. Senate said, uh-oh. The police said, these Black folks in LA ain't scared of nobody. And as a result of that, they said, we got to do what we did in 1967. We gave them Thurgood Marshall to deal with the riots of 67. Let's give them another Supreme Court justice to deal with the Rodney King riots. So they snuck Clarence Thomas in to try to help us calm down the Rodney King riots. You understand? And then they let O.J. Simpson off the murder case because they knew if O.J. would have went to jail, even though he's a house Negro who never did nothing for Black people. But they know that Black people loved O.J. So if they would have let O.J. Simpson go to jail for the murder of Nicole Brown Smith, Black folks would have popped it off again, and they couldn't afford to lose millions of more dollars in property damage and overtime police costs to deal with a O.J. Simpson riot right after the Rodney King riot. L.A. was just rebuilding during the O.J. Simpson trial, 94, 95. Was still rebuilding from Rodney King of 91 and 94. They said, O.J. gotta walk. We know he guilty, but O.J. gotta walk. I don't know if he's guilty or not, but that's what they said. We know O.J. guilty, but O.J. gotta walk, because if O.J. go to jail, guess what? All this money we'd already lost from the Rodney King riot, and all the money we had to put back in Los Angeles County because of the Rodney King riot, we about to lose even more. O.J. got to walk, or Los Angeles will burn again. Second time in 3 years. So they gave us Thurgood Marshall to deal with the Detroit, Newark, and the other 100 race riots in Black America. Then they gave you Clarence Thomas to deal with the Rodney King riots. So why Ketanji Brown Jackson? Let me tell you why they're giving you Ketanji Brown Jackson. Let me tell you. Once again, a consolation prize to American Negroes. But why? Because Joe Biden heavily touted the Black vote. He went after the Black vote. He even went on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne to get the Black vote and told Black people, if you don't vote for him, you not Black. This same president who's doing nothing for Black people told Black people, if you don't vote for me, you not Black. And right now, Black America is sitting back. Right now, Black America is sitting back watching Joe Biden give $15 billion to the Afghans and watching America open up its borders to 100,000 racist Ukrainian immigrants. 100,000 racist Ukrainian immigrants. They're going to get free housing. They're going to get jobs. They're going to get medical care. And they're going to be fast-tracked to be citizens. And Black America is watching how Joe Biden let in tens of thousands of Afghan refugees last year. Tens of thousands of Afghan refugees last year. They got housing, they got medical, they getting schooling. They're gentrifying the black community. They're getting rights and resources black people don't get. Afghanis and Ukrainians, not even citizens of the country, and they're getting rights and resources that black people don't get. Black people are watching this. Black people are watching how the rainbow community is getting all kind of laws, executive orders by the president, laws from the Congress. Black people get nothing. We watching the anti-Asian bill. We watching the Native American bill. We watching the Hispanic Prosperity Initiative. We watching everybody get their needs taken care of, except Americans in Africa. And the Democrats are saying, Democrats, you know we have always taken the Negro vote for granted. We have always taken the Negro vote for granted. Fellow Democrats, we have 50 million Negroes on our plantation. We have 50 million Negroes on the Democratic Party plantation. But if we keep on doing this, if we keep on blatantly ignoring black folks in deference for illegal immigrants and rainbows and every other group, when black people built this country, they not going to go vote for the Republicans. They going to stay home and not vote at all. Now, right now, the U.S. Senate is 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans. Right now, the U.S. Senate is 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans. Judge Ketanji Brown is going to likely get confirmed because they only need the 50 Democrats to vote for her in order for her to get confirmed. They only need the 50 Democrat senators to vote for the confirmation of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson for her to get in. So she's likely to get in. The only way she's not going to get in is if one of those Democrats changes their mind. But the point that I'm making, it's a very delicate balance. The elections are coming up in November. The elections are coming up in November. The midterm elections are coming up in November, and the Democrats are scared. They're scared that black people are not going to go out and vote in November. And if black people don't go out and vote for the Democratic senators in November, the Republicans are going to take over the Senate. And the Republicans might take over the House of Representatives. So we got to give these Negroes another token. We gave them Kamala Harris, but black folks ain't too sold on her because she was a part-time East Indian and a part-time American African. We gave them Kamala Harris. We thought that would be enough. She went to Howard University. She's an AKA. Shout out to my AKAs. I love y'all out there. Shout out to all the Black Greek fraternities and sororities. Y'all need to do more for the community, though. No disrespect to the Divine Nine. I love y'all. I support y'all, but y'all not doing enough for the people. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't care who don't like it. We gave black people Kamala Harris. But because they found out she was a part-time East Indian and a part-time American African, it wasn't enough. They had enough of that with Barack Obama. They had enough of the part-time African stuff with Barack Obama. So the Democrats said, let's give them a black Supreme Court female so we could satisfy the radical black feminists. We can satisfy all the bougie Negroes who think black faces and high places mean something. And if we give them a black, chocolate, beautiful, melanated, natural-haired black woman in the U.S. Supreme Court, they'll come out and vote for us in November. And here's what I'm going to say. You're absolutely right, Democrats. That might just get the job done. But the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement, we intend to make some noise in the November midterms. We are gearing up to run some of our own candidates in the November midterms. Brothers and sisters, if you want to help or run to be a U.S. congressman or a U.S. congresswoman, black men, black women, if you want to run to be a U.S. congressman or a U.S. congresswoman as a representative from your U.S. congressional district, you can email btnibpm@yahoo.com. btnibpm@yahoo.com. Games is over. We getting serious. Games is over. We getting serious. Games are over. It's time to get serious. We intend to be heard in November. We intend to make noise just before we go to South Carolina. If nothing else, we get. Now, let me say this. Understand, overstand, and understand me. The only reason why Joe Biden nominated Sister Ketanji, she has the credentials. She's more than qualified. Our sister can do the job. That's not why he nominated her. He nominated her because Democrats are scared of losing seats in Congress in November. That's why he nominated her. That's why he nominated her. Democrats are scared of losing the black vote November of 2022, which will give the Republicans an advantage. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Some of my politically uneducated Africans are saying to themselves, but Dr. Umar, isn't it better to have the Democrats in charge of the Congress than the Senate? Isn't it better to have the Democrats in charge of the Congress than the Senate? Can I ask you all a question? Let me ask you a question. If it's better to have the Democrats in charge of the Congress than it is to have the Republicans, why hasn't the George Floyd police reform bill passed Congress yet if there's a 50-50 split in the Senate? Why? If Democrats love black people so much, if Democrats love black people so much, why isn't the George Floyd Police Accountability Act, why hasn't that passed the U.S. Congress yet? If the Democrats are 50% of the Senate, and I think they're about 50% of the House as well, why did it take so long? Look at all the Democratic Senates we've had, all the Democratic Congresses we've had in 400 years in this country. And you just now get the Emmett Till bill that has no teeth. You just now got the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill a few weeks ago, and that's because Dr. Umar threatened to run an independent leg of black candidates in November. I'm the reason they passed that damn bill a few weeks ago. I'm the reason. They said we cannot have young blacks getting rid of these old, crusty Negroes in the Congressional Black Caucus. They said you can't have all these young black people running and taking away seats from old black people that the Democratic plantation can trust. That's why they gave you Emmett Till, because of King Kong consciousness. Bill Clinton was a Democratic president. Look what he did, locking up all those black people. Barack Obama was a Democratic president. Look what he did, taking all that money from HBCUs. Look what Barack Obama did for black folks. Absolutely nothing. Took everything, all of our rights, and gave it to the rainbow community and did nothing for you. So don't tell me that we are going to do better under Democrats, because we've been under Democrats. We've been under the Democrats. What you don't understand is the Democrats and the Republicans have the same agenda when it comes to black America. There's no difference. The only difference is tactic and strategy. The only difference between the Democratic agenda for black people and the Republican agenda for black people is tactic and strategy. The Democrats like to make you think they care. That's their tactic. Republicans would rather tell you the truth. That's their tactic. Because guess what? If you think the Democrats love black people so much, answer me a question. If you think the Democrats love black people so much, answer me this question. If you think the Democrats love black people so much, Why are they bringing all these Ukrainians in, all these Mexicans in, all these Afghanis in, and Joe Biden wants to make them citizens and give them jobs and homes and business opportunity when you have millions of unemployed black people, homeless black people, formerly incarcerated black people, miseducated black children? Look at all the hell black people catch in America, and it's your Democrats. It's your Democrats, not the Republicans. Not the Republicans. The Ukrainian thing is a Democratic thing to bring 100,000 over here. The Afghani thing was a Democratic thing to bring tens of thousands of them over here. The Mexicans crossing over, that was a Barack Obama thing. So if the Democrats love black people so much, why are they giving all these resources away to non-immigrants instead of to the black people who built the country? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. The Democrats are sick and tired of looking like the party that cares about black people. I'm going to say it again. The Democrats are sick and tired of looking like the party that cares about black people. Let me say it again, because y'all don't understand, overstand, and understand me right now. Y'all don't understand, overstand, and understand. The Democrats are sick and tired of being branded the party of the blacks. They don't want to be known as the party of the blacks. They want to be known as the party of middle class, working class, and underclass white America. They want to be known as the party of middle class, working class, and underclass white America. The Democrats do not want to be known as the party of black folks. So guess why they're bringing 100,000 Ukrainians in? To make them citizens so they can replace you at the voting booth. Why are they bringing 50,000 Afghanis or more to America? To make them citizens so they can replace you at the voting booth. Why do they want to fast track all these Mexicans to be citizens and non-citizen Latinos? So they can make them citizens and replace you at the voting booth. You fools are out of your mind if you think the Democratic Party are in love with black folks. They are replacing you as we speak with immigrants. They are replacing you as we speak with immigrants. They are replacing you as we speak with immigrants. So now that I've made it clear to you that Thurgood Marshall was a consolation prize to Negroes to stop the '67 riots, and Clarence Thomas was a consolation prize to Negroes to stop the 1991 Rodney King riots, and Ketanji Brown Jackson is a consolation prize for Negroes, so you go out and vote in November so the Democrats don't lose their seats in the Senate or the House. Now that we know all three of your black Supreme Court justices were not put there because anybody cares about you. They were put there to make sure you do not upset the status quo. They were put there to make sure you do not upset the status quo. Now, let me say this. The vote for Sister Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Senate must vote on her confirmation. They had the hearings. The hearings are over. This coming week, these next 2 weeks, they're getting ready to vote. They're getting ready to vote on whether or not this black woman should become the first black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court in American history. The same Supreme Court that said you were not people, you were property. The same Supreme Court that validated and upheld your enslavement. The same Supreme Court that dehumanized you. They have to vote in the next week or two on whether Ketanji will be the first sister to sit on the bench. Now, here's what I want to say. I'm irritating. Let me help you off the live then. You shouldn't be. I don't want to irritate you, baby. Rainy, let me get you off my live, baby. I irritate you. Get off my damn platform. I don't understand why you Negroes who don't like me can't stay away from me. I'm trying to understand it. It must be the Leo in me. Why? Okay. Why do people who claim not to like me are always on my lives. Can somebody, listen, bro, send me a personal text message. I want you to personally tell me, why do people who claim, Negroes who claim they can't stand my guts are the first ones on my Instagram, the first ones on my Facebook, the first ones in my inbox, the first ones at the lecture, the first, if you don't like a person, why are you watching my videos? If you don't like a person, why are you studying my content, using my content? I have educated an entire generation of black folks. Hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. You want to make a personal donation? Hit your Zelle, 215-989-9858. Hit your Zelle, 215-989-9858. Hit your Zelle, 215-989-9858, or your Cash App personal, $ Dr.Umar Johnson. Donations, $ FDMG School. Personal, $ Dr.Umar Johnson. Donations, $ FDMG School. Let me say this before I give my closing comments. And don't forget, I'm speaking tomorrow in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. I'm speaking tomorrow in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Black Reserve Bookstore. Black Reserve Bookstore. 319 West Main. 319 West Main Street. Tomorrow in Lansdale. Doors at noon. Lecture at 2. Book signing at 4. Doors at noon, lecture at 2, book signing at 4 tomorrow, 319 West Main Street, Lansdale. April 4th is the 54th assassination anniversary of Dr. King. The U.S. Senate will vote on Sister Ketanji's confirmation within the next week or two. Congress is about to have a recess. I believe the Senate goes home on April the 7th. The senators start going home for spring recess on April the 7th. So Joe Biden wants Ketanji confirmed before the spring recess of U.S. Congress. And the reason the Democrats want Judge Ketanji confirmed before spring recess is they want to come back to the black community and say, we've done something for you. See, they know they can't send these Democrats, black or white, they can't send the Congressional Black Caucus back home for Easter break. They can't send the Congressional Black Caucus home for Easter break without Judge Ketanji having been confirmed, because black people are going to say, what have you done for me lately? So the Congressional Black Caucus is nervous right now. They're like, I can't go home and we ain't done nothing but pass that weak-ass Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. Rest in peace to Emmett Till and Mamie Till. I can't go home with that because Dr. Umar already exposed that ain't got no teeth in it. He even exposed that the George Floyd bill that we haven't passed ain't got no teeth in it either. So you got to send me home with a black female Supreme Court justice. Most black people still believe in tokenism, and most black people still believe in superficial change. So despite what Dr. Umar is saying, if I can go back to my district this spring and tell black people that I helped them get the first black female U.S. Supreme Court justice in American history, I will get my votes in November. See, right now, brothers and sisters, the Congressional Black Caucus is nervous. Right now, brothers and sisters, the Congressional Black Caucus is nervous. Right now, brothers and sisters, the Congressional Black Caucus is nervous because they got to get reelected in November. They got to get reelected, and they need the spring break to start campaigning because they know the Bishop Turner National Independent Black Political Movement is coming. So they're telling Joe Biden, get her confirmed before we go home so we can brag about the fact that we got the first black female on the Supreme Court. Here's what Dr. Umar has to say. Here's what Dr. Umar has to say. Here's what Dr. Umar has to say. To my sister, Judge Ketanji Brown. To my sister, Judge Ketanji Brown. I hope you get confirmed because you deserve it. I don't appreciate your snow bunny crisis at all. It's not a good example to black girls coming behind you. We need strong black men with strong black women. So I don't appreciate you going outside the community to get your husband. That's not a good look for our girls at all. You are too beautiful with too much melanin. You are too fine of a sister to be going home to an oppressor. But with that being said, sister, you have been through too much. I wish you well. I'm going to say, I'm going to ask the ancestors to put you in there if that's what's best for us as a people. I'm going to ask the ancestors to put you in if that's what's best for us as a people. And I only ask you one thing, Sister Ketanji. Please don't go the route of Justice Clarence Thomas. Sister Ketanji, please hear me out, sister. Do not become another Clarence Thomas. This man for 31 years has voted against every single thing that has come up in front of the Supreme Court for black people. That man is an enemy of our people. And just like you, he chose to marry into the oppressor's community. So I'm asking you, sister, I'm going to root for you a little bit. I'm hoping that what you went through last week, in that U.S. racist Ku Klux Klan Senate chamber, I'm hoping that it reminded you that even though you are a federal judge, even though you have achieved the highest level of accomplishment in the legal world, even though you chaired the Federal Sentencing Commission, even though you went to an Ivy League college, even though you are a nominee for U.S. Supreme Court Justice, I'm hoping that you learned one thing last week, Sister Ketanji. I'm hoping you learned one thing, and that is I'm hoping you learned that even though you have a white husband, even though you are a federal judge, even though you are an Ivy League graduate, even though you're probably one of the brightest minds this country has ever produced, or should I say the African community in this country has ever produced, even though you are economically and educationally elite, my beautiful African sister, you are still black. And at the end of the day, just like Oprah, just like Bill Cosby, just like Oprah, just like Bill Cosby, you had to be reminded. I don't appreciate the way they did it, sister, but I'm sure you are now reminded of something. And that is, in this country, it don't matter how educated you get. In this country, it don't matter how much money you make. In this country, it don't matter how many white people you share your bed with. In this country, it don't matter how many Ivy League degrees you have. In this country, Sister Ketanji, whether you like it or not, you are still one of us. You are still one of us. You are still one of us. And I am hoping, because the Supreme Court appointment is a lifetime appointment, you're going to be a Supreme Court justice until you decide to retire. You're going to be a Supreme Court justice until you decide to retire. So I'm hoping, Sister Ketanji, with all your melanin, because you are one gorgeous black sister with your natural hair, I'm hoping that you remember your people. I'm hoping you remember us who fought and cried and stood by you as you had to put up with that racist Neanderthal, caveman, Iceman, mayonnaise community Senate confirmation process. Remember your people, Ketanji, because at the end of the day, your white husband can't save you. At the end of the day, You got to meet your ancestors, just like I got to meet my ancestors. So black woman, Sister Ketanji, I hope you get the vote. I believe you will get the vote. And I hope you do not become the next Clarence Thomas. I watched that man from high school as an 11th grade junior. I sat there and watched how they treated him. And after he went through that hell, instead of standing up for black people, he sided with the white power structure. Sister Ketanji Brown Jackson, please don't do the same thing. And with that said, brothers and sisters, I want to say this and then I'm going to wrap it up. With that said, brothers and sisters, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to wrap it up. And that is this. I think it would benefit black people more if she does not get the vote. Listen to me. I want y'all to understand me. I want my sister to get in, and I'm going to pray that her ancestors make her do right by her people. I want y'all to hear me. I want Sister Ketanji Brown to get in there. I want her to become the first black female Supreme Court justice. Not because I care about first black crap. That don't mean nothing. But I'm hoping she'll get in there and stand up for her people. But for the sake of black revolution, it would be better if she didn't, because this would be another piece of proof. This would be another piece of proof to show you multicultural, we love America Negroes. This would be another piece of concrete proof to show you multicultural, colorblind, we love America Negroes that this country is not for you. So although I wish my sister well, I want y'all to get me here. I wish my sister well, and Sister Ketanji, I'm going to hope the ancestors give you that seat. But I need you to understand politically, it would probably be better if you don't get the seat, because black people need to see how racist the U.S. Senate is. We need to see how racist this country is. We should already know. We should already know. But many of us have been so brainwashed by Christianity, Islam, white propaganda, okay? And I'm saying Christianity and Islam, not because I'm against Muslims and Christians, but because Islam and Christianity are both colorblind. Islam and Christianity are both colorblind. And the last thing black people need is a brainwashing from a colorblind religion. I'm not against your religion. I'm against the tactics of the religion. And because we are still so handicapped and straitjacketed and comatose by colorblindism and multiculturalism, if they did vote you down, my sister, and I don't want them to, but if they were to vote you down, I think it would help a lot of black women who think America cares about them. It would help a lot of black women who think America cares about them. It would help a lot of these black feminists who think America cares about them. If you got voted down, I think it would wake a lot of our sisters and brothers up to the realization that we ain't got no friends but each other. Brothers and sisters, I don't want to keep you no longer. Please hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School. She's going to win. She's going to get in because the Democratic Party can't afford for her not to. The Congressional Black Caucus cannot afford for her not to get in, because if she don't get confirmed, if Ketanji don't get confirmed, a lot of these Congressional Black Caucus congressmen and congresswomen, and I have nothing against them personally, they just haven't been fighting the good fight for black people. I don't have nothing against the Congressional Black Caucus personally. They just haven't been fighting the good fight for black people. If she don't get in, most of them will be getting out. If she don't get in, most of them will be getting out. If she don't get in, most of the Congressional Black Caucus and most of the white Congress will get voted out. They can't afford for her not to get in there. And that's exactly why I do think she will get in. But if by chance the ancestors decide it's not in our best interest for her to get in, I think that could also be a benefit to the people too. If you need to reach me, 215-989-9858. If you need to text me, 215-989-9858. If you need to leave me a voicemail, 8444-Dr.Umar, 8444-Dr.Umar. I will never run for a public office. I will never run for public office. I am a revolutionary. I do not believe in reform. I am a revolutionary. I do not believe in reform. Politicians are reformists. They seek to change the government to make it better. I believe it needs to be destroyed completely. So I cannot run because it is against my principles as a revolutionary Pan-African nationalist. As you always hear me say, as you've heard Marcus Garvey say, as you've heard the Panthers and the Black Liberation Army say, as you heard Malcolm and Khalid and King and Medgar say, as you've heard Harriet and Ida B. Wells and Fannie Lou Hamer and Sojourner say, revolution is the only solution. Revolution is the only solution. Revolution is the only solution. This is your brother signing out in the name of the ancestors and in the presence of the Most High. Peace and Pan-Africans.